Happening today on your Fast Track to the top of the hour, a man accused of attempted murder in Fargo last year expected to be in court.
Ian Sexton was arrested last March after allegedly stabbing a man with a knife during a fight. After that fight, he was taken to a hospital where police say Sexton assaulted and spit on medical personnel.
Sexton faces 8 charges, including attempted murder, aggravated assault, and assault on medical personnel. He's expected in court for a motion hearing at 3 p.m. today.
A Fort Ransom man with 42 counts of child porn charges is set to be in court today. Alexander Lawrence Carlson was arrested last September and is accused of having photos and videos of child porn depicting children as young as 4 to 6 years old involved in sex acts.
Investigators say they found more than 100 files, including 68 videos and 142 images, according to court documents. Investigators determined that 3 of those images are believed to be of Alexander Carlson himself, based off unique tattoos. Carlson is set to appear in court at 1:30 this afternoon. A Cooperstown man accused of multiple charges, including sexual assault, is set to make an appearance today in court.
28-year-old McGregor O'Bregan was arrested last Wednesday in Griggs County for charges including sexual assault of a minor, terrorizing a child victim, and corruption or solicitation of a minor. O'Bregan is set to appear in court at 9:30 this morning over Zoom. And more details emerging about a woman charged related to that sex abuse case. Jessica DeShong is a legal secretary in the Stutsman County State's Attorney's Office.
She's been put on administrative leave. DeShong is accused of giving confidential information to O'Bregan, who's accused of sexually abusing and threatening a teen girl. A State Crime Bureau agent says DeShong admitted to sharing that information with the suspect. A Red Lake, Minnesota woman is facing 4 felony charges, all pertaining to neglect of a child, following an Amber Alert that was sent out across Minnesota Friday night.
When deputies were able to pull over 36-year-old Jennifer Stately of Red Lake, they say they found a young boy in the backseat of the car with sores and scabs all over his body and 2 completely rotted out teeth. Friday night's Amber Alert was sent out because it was believed that the boy was abducted by Stately. Doctors believe the marks on the boy's body are burn marks. Moorhead police and the Minnesota BCA are investigating the death of a young boy.
Officers were called to the 1500 block of Bellesley Boulevard just after 1 a.m. yesterday for a call about a 3-year-old boy who wasn't breathing. Moorhead police say the child was taken to the hospital by ambulance but later passed away.
The boy is said to be transported to the Ramsey County Medical Examiner's office where an autopsy will be conducted. That investigation is ongoing and no further information is being released at this time. Now to a story we've been following since last month.
Last night, the Barnesville School Board voted to save their elementary art program, but instead voted to cut their family and consumer science classes. Parents reached out to us here at Valley News Live through our whistleblower hotline last month, upset. They said that the school was planning to get rid of the elementary art program for budget reasons. They say the grant that funded that program was running out.
Last night, they decided to cut their FACS program and its teacher instead. Those school board leaders pointed out they still need to find and hire an art teacher to keep that program in place. Meanwhile, the city of Dilworth is looking for approval of a $7.2 million proposal to build a new community center.
A referendum vote is scheduled for November 5th. The new center would be built at the Rail District just east of 15th Street Northeast in Dilworth. Next month, the current center, shown here on your screen, will be closed to make room for the construction of the new fire station. City leaders say to pay for the new one, they're going to need to see a 0.5% sales tax increase. They say they felt that this option was better than a property tax increase. Turning our attention now to the weather, big changes on the way and a beautiful sunrise. Yeah, at least we have this.
Yeah, at least we have this. With more on what's to come, let's send things straight over to meteorologist Lisa Green. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning. Enjoy it while you can. We've got some changes on the way. First alert weather days, not just for Thursday. We raised the first alert weather day yesterday for Thursday with the snow coming, but now today also talking about Sunday because this weekend is going to be bringing a chance for even more snow potentially. It's still several days out and it could change a little bit, but right now it does look kind of wintry here on Sunday with some heavier snow and some wind as well. So stay tuned for that. Here's a look at the latest. Again, beautiful sunrise happening on this spring equinox, meaning that sun is going to rise pretty much directly out of the east. And so if you're driving on east-west roads, that can be blinding, both sunrises and sunsets. So make sure you got your sunglasses with you today. Looking at Fargo, sunrise at 7:31. We're at 34 degrees currently. If feels more like 26 when we factor in that northwesterly or west northwesterly wind. And in Grand Forks and East Grand Forks looking pretty good as well. We've got 32 degrees and it feels more like 23 right now with a little bit of wind out of the northwest. And wind is going to be a factor for us today. We're going to see those winds gusting into the 20s and 30s right now in the Southern Valley, a northwesterly wind gusting to 23 in Detroit Lakes, and especially in the Northern Valley up by Lake of the Woods, some gusts into the low 30s right now, and we may see more of that as the day goes on. Most of us are on the clear side, but you can see a few clouds and 1 or 2 snow showers passing by right around the Can-Do area up in Towner County right now, and that's something we may see in other places as the day goes on. We've got that colder air rushing in, and just like we saw this weekend, that could touch off a couple of brief but passing snow showers here today. So out at the bus stop, not bad. A lot warmer this morning than yesterday morning, but this afternoon might feel a little tougher with the wind picking up. Temperatures don't rise a lot. We'll be into the 30s for this afternoon in places like Fargo. And then that colder air continues to take over for Wednesday. So tomorrow's going to be a little chillier. Thursday gets more active, of course, with that first alert weather day and a chance for a few inches of snow. And then we get a break Friday and even into part of the day on Saturday. And then that larger system, the one that has potential for more widespread and impacts along with the heavier snowfall amounts, will be on Sunday, lingering into Monday. So we'll be tracking both of those systems throughout the rest of the week. You can always check for the latest on that too on the VNL weather app. We'll be doing video updates throughout the week as well, as we're preparing you for winter to make a comeback here in the Valley.
Yeah, this month 7 degrees now to first alert weather winter days. Wow.
Yep, and talking about them all on the spring equinox.
Yep, only makes sense.
Yes.
Thank you, Lisa. Well, employees at the Chuck E. Cheese in Fargo are saying they're going to be closed for good, effective immediately. Workers confirmed this with us. They were informed by corporate on Sunday night that they would permanently close as of yesterday. Some employees expressing concerns, saying they had no warning and are now out of a job.
Viewers also expressing concern of this closure as families have unused gift cards, redeemable points, and scheduled fundraisers and birthday parties. Chuck E. Cheese corporate says gift cards or those play passes are not refundable, but they can be used at any location across the U.S. Yesterday, crews began prep work on the 11th Street Underpass project. Closures and detours will begin next week.
That project includes construction of 2 underpasses on 11th Street under the BNSF rail lines, as well as paving, sidewalks improvements, utility replacements, and signals. The work's going to be completed in stages and last until November 2026. March is Women's History Month, and within March is a special week dedicated to women in construction.
Valley News Live caught up with several women working on the historic Fargo-Moorhead Area Diversion Project.
When you build something, you get to see it. It has, at the end, you get to point to something and say, I did that, I built it. Especially a project like this, where it's going to have such a big impact on the community, to be able to do something that, has meaning for a lot of people long term. I think that's a pretty cool thing.
Pretty cool. According to the Metro Flood Diversion Authority, 14% of the project's non-federal workforce is made up of women, and that exceeds the national average of only 10.9%. The University of North Dakota held its first ever Disability Awareness Day yesterday.
The event featured presentations from students and from outside organizations that have involvement with UND. The keynote speaker was Alan Bruce. He's a sociologist with decades of experience on the topic of disability.
He spoke extensively on how we must continue to work to make a more inclusive society overall and what things were like at UND for people with disabilities. Well, if you have space in your heart and maybe your home, the Animal Humane Society in Minnesota is looking for more foster volunteers.
They're especially in need of those who can take in large dogs who have been overlooked in the shelter for a longer period of time, compared to puppies who get adopted pretty quickly. Fosters can actually get first dibs on adopting animals if it returns to the shelter.
Coordinators say dogs are starting to stay longer and longer inside those small shelters.
Our average stay used to be probably in the 7 to 10 days. Now the dates are getting to be 3, sometimes 4 weeks, and we have some poor animals that are on the floor for as much as 2 months.
And here locally, you can check out For Love of Dog, Homeward Animal Shelter, or Cat's Cradle for volunteer opportunities. The premier moving picture event in the state of North Dakota is back.
The Fargo Film Festival is starting up today and features more than 100 movies in a span of 5 days at the historic Fargo Theater. Organizers were on North Dakota Today yesterday and say this is the largest fundraiser for the Fargo Theater.
It's a really incredible opportunity to support a really important venue in our community.
You can get tickets online or through the box office, which is open from 2 to 7:30.
The multi-million-dollar Powerball jackpot is still up for grabs after last night's drawing saw no ticket match those winning numbers. Whoa. The jackpot has now risen to an estimated $687 million. The cash value option, $327.3 million.
We gotta win. The next Powerball drawing is tomorrow, and tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is $875 million. That'll do too.
Wow, yeah, good luck, everybody. Thank you so much for waking up and joining us here in the Valley today. My name is Ashlyn Hill.
And I'm Alex Larson. Take care.